Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll just wait for 5 more minutes and then we'll start the session at 7 p.m. sharp. Thank you.
Wow, we have started receiving comments on YouTube. Hello guys,
Yes.
hello everyone. Good to see that the audience is already engaging.
Yeah,
Nice,
right.
nice.
Hello, Meenakshi. Hello, Tanjil.
Yes. Shivani, I hope you are working fine on LinkedIn as well. Do you want to quickly check that? I think
Yes, yes.
it's
I
working fine.
checked. Yeah, we are live
Awesome.
on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube.
Nice, nice.
Whatever is convenient
Mul-
for all, you can join there.
yeah, multitasking in real sense.
Yes.
Right. Right. I don't have YouTube open in front of me. I have it in my iPad, so I just try to keep a tab on that.
Yeah.
All right. It's weird. I have two devices in front of me and they both are showing different times. Okay, right. So it seems like one of them is behind the schedule. That's fine.
All right. All set. Should we begin?
Yeah, let's start. Let's get the party started.
Yes. Okay, I think, yeah, there are still some people joining. 1 minute to go. I'll start sharp at 7.
Sure, awesome.
Okay, so let's begin. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Chandan, just can you confirm once?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Shivani. I work as a marketing manager for Coditas, and I will be your host for this evening. Today, we are here to discuss a very unique initiative by Coditas, which is our UX and interaction design training program. I won't give you any spoilers as our speakers have planned a very interesting walkthrough of the program. As the speakers, we have with us our experienced designer and trainer Ashvesh Nayak. Hi Ashvesh,
Hi
welcome to
guys.
the webinar.
Yeah, thank you.
Next, yeah. Next we have our UX designer Snehal Shivankar. Hey Snehal, welcome to the
Hey,
webinar.
hi, Shivani. Hi, everyone.
Hi. And lastly, we have our partner and director of UX design, Chandan Mishra. Hello,
Hi
Chandan.
guys, hello, what's up? Good
Hi.
evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. So, the further introduction of the speakers, I will leave it to them. For those who don't know Coditas, Coditas is a new age offshore product development organization headquartered in Pune. We offer services spanning the entire software development lifecycle for clients across the globe. To know us better and for some amazing content, join us on our social media channels. We are very active on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Also, do subscribe to our YouTube channel because you will be the first to get notified about our next webinar. A final note before we get started, if you have any questions about the program or during the presentation, please feel free to type them in the chat section. We will be addressing the questions in our Q&A sessions. That's it from my side. Over to you guys. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
awesome. Thank you so much, Shivani. Great introduction, Ashvesh. I think you can go ahead.
Yep. Hi guys, everyone. This is Ashvesh Nayak. I'm experienced designer and trainer at Coditas. Currently, the training program is handled by me and meet our team. Shivani, what?
Awesome. Snehal.
Yeah. Hey, hi everyone. I'm UX designer at Coditas. Currently, I'm working on several projects as well as helping Ashvesh and Chandan through to this training program. So yeah, that's a short introduction of me. So what you, Chandan?
All right, awesome. Hey guys. So yeah, very short and quick introductions by Ashwesh and Snehal. My primary responsibility is to work with the user experience design team. I look into scaling the team, hiring the team, engaging with clients, establishing design practices, etc., etc. Please excuse the noise of the dogs barking outside. They're really excited for my webinar. So yeah, good to have you all here, and we'll probably get started immediately. I will do a screen share. We have a bunch of things to talk about. I will initiate the share right away. Wow, that's a good insertion. I think it should be visible to you guys
Yes,
Yeah, it's
Chandan, it's
visible.
visible.
now. Yeah, awesome, cool. There's some lag, but right, guys. Again, I think all of you have heard the introduction from Ashwesh, Snehal, and I. And we will dive straight into the webinar. We have only 60 minutes to go for today, so we'll try to be as efficient as possible in our delivery. To start the session, the first thing that I would want to discuss is how we approach learning. For us, as you can see on the screen, learning is a mutual process. What that essentially means is when we are training you or trying to share the knowledge that we have, it is not done with an intention to just have you learn something, but also at the same time we try to make sure that we are also learning something out of it, right? So that way we have a two-way exchange instead of a boring lecture where you go to a class, sit there, and then the lecturer is talking about random things and just sleeping there probably at 7 a.m. in the morning or the college days, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
so the learning is structured in a way that we make sure each and every aspect that is there in the training is clear to you, and in the process of making sure that it is clear to you, we end up learning a lot, right? So for us, it becomes a very mutual process instead of, as I said, one way communication. So so that was just to make sure that all of us are at the same page when it comes to the philosophy of the entire engagement. So we will get into the agenda. There are five major points that we are going to discuss. The first one is we will start with a very quick discussion on who we are exactly and what we are doing as a team. Then we will move to why did we set up this training program, right? What was the motivation? Why did we exactly thought of putting so much of time, effort, investment around having this entire vertical up and ready? And then we will move to discussing what does the training actually look like. Okay, and then we will move to what do you get from this training program and what happens post completion. So those are the things that we will be discussing, and I hope we'll be able to finish it within the time. We'll be taking pauses in between the delivery to pick up questions. So feel free to utilize the chat over YouTube, and I think we are live on LinkedIn as well. Feel free to post your questions. If for whatever reasons we are not able to pick up your question during the session, don't worry. We will definitely get back to you. We have your email address, and we have some of the other contact information. So we will try to make sure that all of your questions are answered. Also, you will have access to us over social media. We are very active, as Shivani said, on Facebook, LinkedIn, most of the time, because that's where majority of the audience lies nowadays, professionals. Also Instagram. So we keep on pushing a lot of good content there. So please go ahead and follow us, and you'll always be updated, right? So first thing first, who are we and what are we doing, right? So let's just have that out of our way. So first of all, Coditas as a team, we are we believe in high quality delivery. So be it design, be it software development, testing, DevOps, all the services that we offer, client experience, the experience that we have within the team, right? The HR practices, everything is designed and structured around having a very high quality exchange, right? That is what we believe in. We are a team of designers, engineers. I don't even remember the total number of skills we have. So we are expanding very rapidly. We are growing very rapidly, and the numbers that you see on the screen is basically a simple testimony of the same. We have been in business from last 7 years. We have grown to 550 plus team members. Again, this includes all the verticals, and then we have built hundreds of softwares. I was trying to get the numbers for the number of softwares that we have built. I realized that practically it's very difficult. So I just put that number to give you a mental image of the size at which we are operating. We deal with all sorts of clients. We work with mid scale to Fortune 100 clients, from MVP level software design and development to full-fledged multi-year design engagements. This is something that we have done. We have built design systems. We have redesigned software applications. We have millions and millions of human beings who are using the experiences that we have designed, right? The teams that we have collaborated with. As a design team, we strongly believe working in an environment where we are part of the entire product team, right? So one misconception that I see a lot of people deal with, we say that we are designers, so our job is to probably put together a bunch of pretty screens and a prototype. But when we try to zoom out and look at the entire software as one project, we start realizing that the user experience that is pretty famous in the industry, the term, uh, is a responsibility of each and every person who is involved in the delivery of the product, which includes product managers, developers, back end, front end, people who maintain softwares, people who take care of testing. All of us, the entire team is responsible for delivering a high quality product. So a good user experience is not a job that is limited to designers only. So just to make sure that we are absolutely clear, and that is how the entire design team at Coditas functions. We focus on the fact that collaboration is always the prime responsibility of each and every designer in our team. We know the language the team speaks, and we try to speak the same language to make sure that the communication is clear, and that reflects in the way the training is structured. So I think when Ashvesh and Snehal, they are going to come to that point, you'll get to know about it, what I'm really trying to talk about, right? So now the second part, why did we set up this training program? So first and foremost, we wanted to make sure that the training is done for the right context, right? Now, there are a lot of fantastic design schools out there, universities out there. All of them are doing great job. In fact, we as a design team are engaged with multiple design schools, based out of India, and they keep on helping us with so many highly skilled designers, right? What we have set up is a training program. It is not a design education program. So that's the key difference. We are focusing on what context we have as a team in which each and every designer has to operate, right? So the curriculum is highly focused on what matters to us as a team, and also the things that you would in general end up doing in if you join any other company, any other team out there, right? And the way the design community is growing, especially in India, is just mind blowing. 5 years ago, I don't think so much of visibility was there for designers, but now it is increasing, and it is increasing at the speed of light, right? That does not mean that we can just flood the entire industry with all sorts of designers. We have to make sure that at the end of the day, each and every one of us is going to have a specific skill, and we are going to be strong in certain areas. We are probably going to be not so strong in certain areas. So we should know where we lack and what areas we kind of excel in, so that we can contribute effectively to whatever team that we join, right? Like purely speaking from a person who is trying to get into user experience design, right? Second thing is to train for the right skills. Now, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of things when you talk about the umbrella of user experience design, from research, within research, primary research, secondary research, to moving to information architecture, creating wireframes, setting up interface, fundamentals of interaction design. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of skills that each and every designer can build, but all those skills are not always utilized. There are skills that are utilized more, there are skills that are utilized less. So we try and make sure that the skills that we have identified with our experience of working with hundreds of software products and hundreds of clients, there are certain skills that we have identified which we firmly believe that they are critical in any kind of a design delivery. So we make sure that the curriculum is structured in a way, or the training is structured in a way, that you guys are becoming familiar of all those skills, right? And your learning is focused. The problem with uh, especially online design education right now, and again, just to set up some context, I am a self-taught designer. Everything that I've learned so far has come from my own learning and failure, and people who have self-taught anything to themselves would probably be able to relate. When you try to learn things on your own, you fail a lot because there's not enough guidance, there's not enough resources, and even if there is, you get so many variations of the same of the same concept that you yourself get confused. And oh, somewhere else the definition of user experience was something else. I'm reading somewhere else, and they are saying something else. What should I believe in? I'm an entry level designer. Like that causes confusion. The beauty of design field, and something that I was discussing a few minutes ago with somebody else, is that there can be multiple correct solution to the same problem, right? Multiple possible solutions are there for the same problem. So whenever we are creating something, we should not get married to the solution that we have come up with. We should be open to the fact that the same problem can be solved in multiple ways, and that is where your skills come into the picture. What I have personally faced is that uh, just because I felt I was highly skilled in a specific area, I would try to solve all the problem with the same tool, right? Okay, so for example, I was good at colors. Oh, there's a usability issue. Let's use colors there. There's a hierarchy issue. Use a color there. There's a issue with information architecture. Put colors there. So anyways, that is what we try to avoid in this training. We try to make sure that you guys are aware of what skill to utilize at what point in time to solve what kind of a problem, right? Clear out all the noise, keeping the focus on what matters. Third thing is to train with the right exposure, right? Now, what I mean by that is, the training is not, as I said in the beginning, is not a kind of a training where you are sitting in a virtual classroom and somebody comes in and talks about a specific topic and goes away and you go about your work, right? The training is structured where is structured in a way that from the word get go, you get to know what collaboration is. As a designer, when you if you want to survive in the field for a long time, you'll realize that the collaboration, communication, all these aspects, they become extremely, extremely critical for you to be successful in the long run. So we make sure that we are tapping into this right at the start. That so we form groups, we figure out mentors that can guide you, people who you can reach out to. In fact, the way the deliveries are structured, everything is structured in a way that it is exact replica of what you would do in a real environment. Right, as soon as you are put in front of a client, or you were asked to solve a design problem, speak with the real users and stuff, you would already have the confidence because it was part of your training, right? So that's how soldiers are trained, right? So if you guys have seen those YouTube videos, or if anybody of you have people from army or so forces background, you would know the training is so hard that when the actual incident happens, or when they have to utilize their skills, they are equipped, they are confident. That is the way we are approaching it. We are making sure that we are sweating as much as possible while the training is happening, so that when the actual collaboration happens, when you say if you join us and stuff, you would put in a real uh, on a real life project, you would already be mentally prepared, right? You would know how to reach out to a senior designer, how to ask questions, how to ask quality questions, how to make sure that you and your teammate are on the same page when it comes to executing a specific task, right? So all those things are taken care of. So I think this is a point where I will quickly move to the YouTube chat and see if we have any questions there. We'll stop the screen for a brief moment so that you guys can see us. Um,
Yeah, there are a
right.
lot many questions here.
Oh, there are? Okay, awesome. I think I
Yeah.
have a spreadsheet. Let me check that.
Is it visible to you, or should I know it?
I can see it. I think.
Okay.
All right. So you know what? Let me just quickly go to YouTube only. I think it'll be easier.
Yeah.
Have you seen any interesting question that you would want us to take first, Ashvesh, Snehal, anything?
And then you
The
can
most basic
also
questions are when this training will be starting.
Yep. I think Shivani and Ashvesh, you guys are speaking at the same time.
uh,
When the training is about to start. The
When
most
the
common
training is
question
about
so
to
far.
start. Okay, understood,
Yeah.
understood. So we are still trying to figure out the exact date, just to make sure that it is clear. We have a batch which is coming to an end. It's going to be mostly during the first week of October. So we are trying to align the transition properly. So it will mostly happen during the first or the second, the first half of October, most probably. We have a pre-onboarding process that we have to take care of. So all those things are going to happen for sure. We'll take two more questions. Anything else? And anything
Online, offline.
interesting? Online, offline. It's completely online, guys. COVID. As an I personally prefer a human, face-to-face collaboration. So, but yeah, at the moment, it is completely structured online. We use I think we use Google Meets, we use Zoom for workshops. All the tools are also available on the internet freely, majority of them. So it gets easier to collaborate. One more
Are the
question.
applications open?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So I think Shivani will go ahead and share some of the details where you can start applying. And to give you the context, guys, last time we had a cap on the number of people that we could onboard, and the cap was 20. We ended up close to 300 applications. So the sooner you apply, the better it is. If you know somebody who is in your network who would be interested in this training, you can of course go ahead and share details with that person as well. Yep, awesome. I think we can move to the next part, Ashwish.
Yeah, sure.
I think we will come back to the questions again.
Yep.
Yeah, I will start the screen share. Yep, Ashwish, go ahead. You can ask me to change the slide whenever you want.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Some of the people who are joining here are my students, and some are new to the system. I would like to introduce myself again. This is Ashvesh Nayak. I'm the trainer here. So let's start with the presentation. Or yeah, the entire presentation duration is framed in 3 months. That's 12 weeks. We will be working almost every working day. That's Monday to Friday for 5 days. And I want you guys engaged for 8 hours per day. Engagement is not just restricted to like back-to-back sessions for 3 hour, 3 hour class. Sometimes it is just an activity in that we all are contributing ourselves for entire day. Sometimes it's carry forward to the next day. But we make sure that entire 5 days we are doing something new. We are learning something new. And just referring to the questions asked here, there is no restriction for design as per me. Some people think design is subjective, some people think design is objective. I think design is open to all. So many a times during such courses, we get students from engineering background, from design background. So we make sure this entire 12 weeks duration is structured in such a way that a fresh starting student can make himself comfortable with design, and even someone who has been practicing design for some years can make himself comfortable over here. It's an average pace designed so that everyone learns something new and contributes himself. Next slide, please. Yeah, the journey from first week to fourth week. That's the first month. And first month, I generally practice myself that you guys unlearn some things, because many a times for basic jargons or basic practices which you learn from Google or some other platforms, maybe they are intended in some different way. But I try myself so that you are getting something new, and we are teaching you something that is related to Coditas, something which we are doing here. So we make sure that all this week 1 to week 4, we are unlearning and learning something from the scratch. Next slide, please. Now, Snehal, would you like to continue?
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Ashvesh.
Yeah.
So, as Ashvesh already told you, that first 4 weeks would be like for you design in a such a way that you will get adjust and get know about what this training program is about. But next 4 weeks would be like you have to participate very dedicatedly towards this, because you will have you have to collaborate with your fellow designers. You have so many tasks to do. You will have so many assignments to do that you have to work like initially you may thought that 8 hours are like they are so, like why we are working 8 hours, we can complete our works in 2 hours or 3 hours. But the next 4 weeks you will realize no, 8 hours are also a
Yes.
very small yeah, less for us. So it, but yeah, these 4 weeks
Yeah.
will be very important for you, because you will get to know how will you going to work with the clients, or get collaborate with your designers, or you will also get a feedback, one-on-one feedback from your mentors as well as trainer. So yeah, this would be a very crucial crucial
Duration.
4 weeks yeah,
Yeah.
duration of your training program. So
Nice.
Chandan, can you move to the next slide?
Sure.
Yeah. So in these 4 weeks, you would like, now during the past 8 weeks, you have learned, you get training, you get feedback from your mentors as well as trainers. But in these 4 weeks, you have a chance to shine. So during this 4 weeks, you will have to present your work. You have to give your assignments का work walk through देना पड़ेगा. तुम्हें तुम्हारे क्या किया वो साबित करना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे. So यहाँ पे सब कुछ तुम्हें अपना like 100% दिखाना है. Yeah, we have spent our time अच्छे से. Yeah, we
Right.
have whatever we have to learn, we can apply this.
Right.
So you will
Just to
also
sum
have
things up,
yeah.
yeah, so just something I will add one point that is very important. And the not so friendly face, which you will be seeing every day. And Snehal is trying to tell you that every day morning I will be coming up with some other problems. Maybe I will be teaching you something. At the same time, I will be seeing how you are collaborating with others. I will be seeing how
Exactly.
you present and how you cover up your other friends. I will be
Right.
seeing how you are helping other buddies at the same time. What is your growth arc? So many a times, this entire 3 month program will be divided in such a way that you will be giving slightly heated situation in which you need to prove yourself and you need to prove the design which you're doing or the projects which you might be working on.
Is it a
Exactly.
training or is it a roadies episode?
I would
I'm
like
just
to be
kidding.
the
You don't
drug
have to
who.
answer that. Oh yes, you look like it, well. So that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
pretty good walkthrough giving, guys. Just one more thing that I would want to add to the last month of the training, as it's a 3 months program. This is 12
Yeah.
weeks. Uh, During the last month, we try to make sure that the exact process that we will follow, for example, the assignment walkthroughs that are going to happen or the interviews that are going to happen, all of these are also conducted in a way that you become familiar of what happens when you start applying elsewhere, right? So a best case scenario, everything goes well, you end up joining us. Even in a worst case scenario, if you want to apply somewhere else, you would know what exactly questions people usually ask, what matters to design teams, what exactly is an assignment walkthrough when you're trying to present your work in front of somebody, how you can structure it, and if somebody is asking you technical questions related to design, then what kind of questions may come your way. So all those preparations happen. Also, we then go ahead and issue a certification as well of the entire training. Okay, so so again, that's just one more point that I wanted to add to it. The fourth part is, what do you get from this training program? So, yeah, guys, let's just, Ashwit, you want to take that?
Ashvesh can't hear you. So,
Okay.
Sorry, my mic. I was on
Okay.
mute.
Sure, go
So
ahead, go
yeah, my dog was barking. Yeah.
ahead. Sure.
One of the important things we try to give it over here, that you are given some assignments or some projects in which you can practice your day-to-day learning. That's more important, because in the same time when you are learning, we can guide you, we can rectify the mistakes, we can give you some reviews so that things can be altered immediately, your mistakes can be identified. The same things are not possible when you are learning from some different platform, or maybe YouTube. So that I observed some videos which are on 10x speed. You don't even get to know what were the changes done, and you don't even get to know what were the shortcuts used. So
Right.
we, being mentors on this board, we give you some hands-on experience. At the same time, we teach you some things. So that's the most important takeaway from this project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Second thing
Exposed
is, of course,
to
exposure.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Ashwit, you want to go and
yeah,
expand on that?
yeah, you can take it.
All right, awesome. So again, exposure to how a design team functions. As I mentioned earlier, when you will go ahead and join a design team as a designer, uh, chances are that you will always be in a team. Even if you're the only designer on the product, you'll always have product managers, developers, as I've already said. So we try to expose you on how exactly a design team functions, how exactly the skills are identified, how responsibilities are assigned, and how you can collaborate with different people within the product team. So it's one of the key factors how it is different from a lot of other online education mediums as well. A lot of them are pretty good. I just saw a question somewhere on how it is different from IDF courses. So that's the key difference. IDF courses are fantastic, by the way. I have seen a few, pretty elaborate, and you learn a lot of things. You follow assignments and stuff. So all those things are there. But again, you have to pay for a subscription and all that. Yeah, but yeah, you can learn at your pace and everything. But here, the way we function is different. We try to expose you to things that are not very easy to obtain, and we try to, as I said, prepare you for what was going to come to you in the real world. Uh, Ashvesh, Snehal, do you want to take this one?
Yes. Yeah, here is the bonus from the program, that this is clearly exclusive for the who will get a chance to be a design trainee over here. So whatever the internal events which are totally exclusive to the only for a design team, you will be able to access. You will have an pass, बोल easily. कि you will have a pass for this event, that event. So
Right.
that's a
And these are
bonus, right?
Yeah, and these are weekly events, guys. So every Friday we have kind of design Friday, if you want to call it, and we have different people coming to the call, and we talk about everything from design topics to anything that anybody is interested in. Using meditation to keep yourself calm, right? So all these events, and sometimes workshop as well. We had a very recently we had a workshop on using animation in your interaction designs. In fact, we had a very interesting workshop before lockdown happened in 2020 on how movie posters are designed, the history of designing of movie posters, right? So you get exposed to a variety of information, and again, you are part of a culture which does not believe in you coming to the office, doing what is required and going back to your home and then living your life. We try to bother you as much as we can, but we try to bother you in a way that it is productive for you, and you are exposed to a variety of information so that you would know what I would be interested in, right? From uh, we I remember we had a session on photography, a workshop on photography, image analysis. We have designers talking about use of artificial intelligence in software product design. So, but again, all these events are always internal. We haven't made them public yet. It's a closed invite only kind of a event. You get access to all of them. Right? Anything else after this slide? And of course, the last one, Ashvesh, or do you guys want me to take this up?
Yep.
All right, awesome.
May I,
Yeah, Ashvesh, go ahead. You're saying something?
yeah, yeah. May I? Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
yeah, go
talking
ahead, go ahead.
about
Yeah, go ahead.
opportunity. So go full time. Whoever will be selected
Okay.
after this procedure of training program, by the end we conduct one-on-one interviews in which we will be selecting suitable candidates if possible, and you will be onboarded to the design team of Coditas. So we are expanding our team, but at the same time we are trying to teach you something. So it's a hand-on-hand process. You will be getting some certificates by the end of this program, and if you're doing very good, you will be onboarded to our team. So you
Right,
will not be a student then, you will be a junior designer to us.
right.
So that.
And yeah, and here is another point that I wanted to capture. And
Mhm.
if you guys notice the title of the webinar, "Earn as you
Yeah,
learn." So again, credit goes to our marketing team, but it is definitely true. Um, the key difference between what happens when you join a design school or an online course is that you pay them for the information that you get, the learning that you get. Here we pay you. So for the first 3 months, you're paid a stipend. So it's not like you have to pay any money to us. It's absolutely free to you, including infrastructure. There's no cost related to license acquisition or dependency on a specific type of operating system. Everything is free. All you have to invest is your time and your focus and your energy. That's it. We pay you for your time. Every month we pay you for your time, right? And then of course, after you join us full time, then you have a different CTC and all that. There's a different package that is assigned to you. But for the first 3 months, it's a stipend paid during the training. And adding to what Ashwesh just said, if you imagine the entire onboarding flow from the point where somebody applies to the program to the point where somebody actually ends up joining the team, you'll see that majority of the people are going to get filtered out, right? It is not because we don't like some of the designers. It's purely because we cannot simply and practically onboard everyone. So we have
yeah,
this step, kind of a waterfall process where at every stage we carry out specific assignment, and then we see that whoever has qualified for the entrance test, we have a very quick, easy, and fun design assignment people have to go through, right, in order to qualify for the training. And then after that they go through the entire training process, and as Ashwesh said, there are interviews that are conducted, and then after interview, then we figure out how to say this batch of 20 to 25 people, how many we can actually onboard depending on their performance during the interviews, the assignment walkthroughs and everything. And that's how usually the point zero where you get to know about the training, and the end point where you end up joining the team, that's the flow that happens. Awesome.
yeah.
Yep. Ashwesh, you want to take this, or I should go ahead?
You can go ahead.
Okay, all right. Thank you so
So
much for the opportunity.
I'm taking down some questions.
Oh, okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So,
Yeah.
all right, yeah. So, again, a few testimonials that we received from some of the people who are currently under training. And as you can see from their feedback, I'm not going to read the text on the screen right now, but I will just like to try and highlight and re-emphasize some of the key aspects. The training helps you think like a designer, right? You may call yourself a designer, but until and unless you know how to think like a designer, it's going to get very difficult for you to be successful in this career. Going back to the point of skill building, you may be able to acquire a skill, right? For example, when I wanted to learn icon design, I learned how to use Illustrator from one of my teammates, and then I went ahead and followed a few tutorials on YouTube. It took hell lot of time, took months for me to get out of the mental block of learning a new tool, right? But that is not the case in which the training happens. We make sure that the entire engagement is designed in a way that we help you start realizing how to start thinking like a designer, right? Uh, and as Snehal mentioned, we have this constant feedback loop. You are assigned to a mentor who is a senior designer, has been in the industry and in the team from last multiple years, so has tested waters, knows the complexities of working on large scale complex projects to small scale, one person team as well. So you get the opportunity to keep bouncing your ideas to them, keep receiving feedback from mentors, from trainers, from myself whenever we are engaging in any kind of a conversation. And also the learning is in depth. It is not at the superficial level where we are what is user experience design, and then you read out a definition out of Wikipedia article, right? That is not the kind of learning we do. As Ashvesh said, it's extremely hands-on. Everything that we discuss, we will have to practice. If we don't practice, we haven't learned, right? So the learning is going to be in depth. Of course, there are few fundamentals that you can only acquire with years of hands-on practice, but you will at least get the best that you can from a perspective where you haven't really entered the field, actually, right? You are still in the process of learning, so you get a extremely in-depth exposure and understanding of the fundamentals that are being taught to you. Right. So I think let's take 5 more minutes to see if you have questions, or we have many. Let me start picking questions this time, Ashvesh.
Okay,
Uh,
that's good.
so, all right. So, can a final year student apply? We are at the moment trying to engage people who can be part of the training full time. As one of the slides had it, and Ashvesh explained how the program is a very immersive and engaging a 3 months program. So if you are already enrolled in a college curriculum, or say you are working somewhere and stuff, it becomes very difficult for people practically to make the most out of this program, right? And just to be completely honest and blunt with you guys, for each person who qualifies, there are tens and tens of other people who are not qualified, right? So we don't want to we just want to make sure that people who are part of the training are the people who can be benefited the most out of the training, right? Unfortunately, because of the constraints on our end, we cannot offer the program to people who are enrolled in any of the ongoing educational curriculum, or working somewhere full time, part time. So that is one constraint that we have right now. Hopefully we'll be able to solve it in the near future, but at least at this point in time, final year students or people who are working with other companies cannot apply to this program. That answers the next question, which is around eligibility. So I will skip that one. The other question is a design background or computer engineering background necessary for the training? Very nice question, Anta. Uh, no background is needed. And full disclosure, I have a computer science background. I moved to design. So design is an extremely beautiful field where you can literally, as long as you have the right mindset and you know how to approach problem solving, you will be able to learn. And the training is also structured in that way. So we don't assume that you would come to the training with a specific type of certification or knowledge or stuff, right? So as long as you have that designer's mindset and you qualify for the training program, it's absolutely fine. No prerequisites are there. uh, how will you select the candidate is something that I think. Right, so just to elaborate on this point, so there are 3 stages. We first check for communication, which is usually done by the recruiters. We have a Google form, which is a very simple, question answer kind of a form. Literally take 5-10 minutes if you want to seriously answer it. And then once you qualify that, then we move to a small assignment. We keep on bringing changes to the assignments problem statement to make sure that it is not, if it is leaked out, people will not be able to find answers very easily. But again, very very simple assignment. It just helps us to understand if you are really invested in the program or not. Once that is crossed, then we go ahead and roll out an offer to you. How to decide UI UX? Not something that take right away. Do we have to relocate at this point in time for the training? No, relocation is not required. Post training, if you are offered a full-time opportunity, maybe something that we are still trying to figure out. The entire industry is trying to figure that out. So again, no definite answer for that question at this point in time. I think let's just. There are a lot of other questions, guys. I'm so sorry. We will try to finish the session and then come back to some of these questions. Right. All right. So, what happens post completion? I think this would answer some of the questions here. First thing is interviews and assignment reviews. So during the third week, as Snehal was explaining, during the starting from week 9th till week 12th, this is the point where you'll be participating in the training session, as well as you'll be undergoing a few rounds of interviews. At the moment, the interviews have 2 rounds. The first interview is structured around finding out your collaboration skills, your communication skills, your presentation skills, and of course, so assignment walkthrough. We look at the progress that you have made in your assignment. We ask questions related to your assignments around your design decisions. We try to see if you have the right rationales behind each and every design change that you have brought in, or each and every design decision that you have made in your assignment, right? So again, connecting point, a kind of sub point to the same topic. Uh, as a team, we believe in communicating the right fundamentals with the right objective. We try to detach ourselves from our own personal preferences and opinions. Why do you have red here? Because I like red. That's not the kind of conversation we have. If you have used red, then you should know the right data points and objective reasons behind that specific design decision. If you don't know the answer, then that's not the right kind of a culture that we want to encourage, right? So again, the entire culture is that way. We promote people who have an objective mindset, people who know what they are talking about, they have data to back. um, of course, certain subjectivity will always be there. It cannot be avoided. All of us are human beings. But even in that case, are we open enough to start the conversation there? Start the conversation with the fact that I do not have the right answer to this question, but here is what I think, or here is what my experience says, right? Or here is what a senior designer has told me, and this is the data behind it, right? So we encourage that kind of a communication. So the interviews are also designed in that way. So these are mostly designed conversations and less of an interview. Interview is where one person asks you a question, you reply as an answer to the question, right? Here you have a conversation. Here you have the liberty and time to ask the other person, I don't know the answer of this question. Can you help me with an answer? And the person on the other end is willing to help you with an answer, right? All of us are pushing forward to make sure that you are successful within the team, outside the team, doesn't matter. If you have invested your time and effort with us, we will make sure that you're successful. What happens after that is on you, right? How you consume the information. I was like, again, another conversation that I was having with somebody. uh, in my school, I think we had around 40 different students, and I would always be. I was in the average category, but I had very close friends who would always be in the top 5. Now both of us were coming to the same lectures, to the same classes, appearing for the same exam, reading the same books, but somebody was able to score more than I did, right? Both of us were on the same ground, exposed to the same resources. Somebody made the most out of it, somebody did not. The job of the school and the teacher was to help us with those kind of resources, or provide us those kind of guidance. How we consume it and how we make use of it is purely on us. right? So we will make sure that we are taking all the steps that are required to make sure that you're successful. But the next 50% of the effort is going to be on your end. Are you able to consume those, resources? Are you able to ask the right questions? Are you able to grow or learn or practice in order to be successful as a designer? That is where the key difference happens. We will provide certification. So everyone who is going to be part of the training is going to receive a certificate for the training that they have gone through, a standard certificate. You can use it for your job application, for probably showing it to your parents or whatever you want to do. But as I personally believe, certifications are just kind of an artifact, not always holds that kind of a weightage in the long run, but definitely helps when you're trying to enter a specific field or trying to take that first step. So it becomes one of those good things to have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even
Yes,
certification can
Silkwood.
help them to appear in interview.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Right. Instead of sending a generic resume, you know,
Yeah.
68% in 10th and all those
Yeah,
jargons in the
exactly.
resume,
Did
you
so
send
and so
them
in
certificate.
10th and 12th.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually,
It shows the credibility of the student.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
shows
it shows the
credibility.
credibility. It shows that somebody has already invested time and effort to learn fundamentals that
Learn from.
matters
Yeah.
Yep.
to us, right? And that is where so when we engage with design schools, this is one of the best benefit that we get out of it. So the students come to us with a pre-trained mindset. So that saves us a lot of time and effort. And certificate becomes a proof that this person has gone through the
Yeah,
kind of a training.
exactly.
And the same thing happens here. So if you get the certificate, you get to utilize anywhere that you want. Right? It becomes a good thing to have. The last aspect is, of course, full-time opportunity. I think Ashvesh expanded on it already, but the same thing. So post completion, you go through the entire interviews, the filtering criteria. You are offered a full-time opportunity based on your performance during the training and through the interviews. Also, we try to make sure that we do not have any kind of a bias or preference in any part of the process. So the interviews are conducted with a complete, in a complete random way. So the mentor is not going to be the person who's going to interview you, right? So we have this mismatch. Again, this is to make sure that the decisions that are being made by us as a team, they are as objective as possible, right? And also we gather feedback from trainers. We find people who are active in the session, people who are asking questions. We gather feedback from mentors. We ask them questions like, you were mentoring this particular person, but particular trainee. What is your feedback about this person? Have you seen this person growing enough? Have you seen this person engaging to the conversation that you've been having with them? And we again, that becomes another feedback parameter. Then of course the round one of the filtering, where you have to do a assignment walkthrough. We gather feedback from there. The round two, where we talk about some technicality of interface design and interaction design. So we gather feedback from there, and all the feedbacks combined gives us a package of feedback. And then we decide who we think can join us and benefit most out of joining us on a full-time basis. But yeah, so that is one thing that happens post completion. Why is the slide not changing? Okay, wait. Okay, I think my hung. No, it's changing now.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So now the question is this the right slide? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry, there's some lag. I think it has appeared now. All right. So the question is how to enroll. I think I saw one of the questions here. We are closing the third quarter's batch and its entry soon. We actually extended the deadline a little bit because we saw high volume of applications. Um, we will go ahead and we will probably accept entries till 20th of September, that Monday. So there is a Google form. Shivani, if you can just share the Google form, if not already, that you can use. You can email ID that is mentioned here, design-training@coditas.com, and our recruitment to get in touch with you and help you with the process. Would be interested if you want to share it. If you have a form in the you want to be a designer, what do you know about user experience design already, and in case if you have a portfolio or anything.
I think we lost some.
Yep.
Am I audible?
And if there is some network issue on
Yeah.
Chandan's side, but
Yeah.
yeah, you can
Guys,
definitely.
just yeah, yeah, Snehal,
Shivani, do you
continue.
want to continue?
No, 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 you go ahead.
Yeah, you can definitely apply through the given link which will Shivani post on the comment box as well as a description. You will find that link. Even you can send us email on design-training@coditas.com. So let me share my screen.
And this isn't the last time we are conducting this. We will be having this every quarterly. So
Yeah,
whenever you are having this links online, please try to enroll.
yeah.
It will
So,
be fruitful for
uh,
you.
so this is the link where this is the email address where you can send your where you can apply, and this is a form link which will also be posted by Shivani on
Yes, I've
chat.
already done that.
Yeah,
All the handle. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Shivani. So yeah,
Welcome.
uh,
So I
we
think,
are excited to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
please
Do we
hurry up.
want to take up any questions, guys?
yeah,
Ashvesh,
I
Snehal?
was seeing some questions.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah,
also,
please go ahead.
yeah, who can I enroll? Anyone who is currently done with the education and is trying to have something in the form of workshop or training program can enroll into this. Add-on part, if things are going well, you are performing good, you will be onboarded to Coditas. That would be the second stage of this program. But first of all, we will be training you. We'll be trying to develop you in such a way that you are suitable for Coditas. That's the first agenda. And at the same time, you will be getting certificate and paid as well. Because we are thinking about paying you because that's the only persuasion we can fight right now. Because most of the people are indoor and this pandemic isn't helpful for anyone. But we are trying our best. So that's one of the things. Anyone can enroll into it, may that be from technical background or design background. And most of the questions were answered right now, I suppose. Yep.
Yes, and Shivani, do you want to continue from here?
Yep. Do you want to address any more questions, or are we done, Ashvesh? You can
I
check
think
the
we
sheet.
are done. Chandan was. I could see two more questions. Those were interesting. One is this a training program or an internship? We call it a training program because internship got have some different guidelines to it. In during
Exactly.
internship, we are mandatory to work under someone, or you are given a fixed category of work. Talking in UX language, you might be doing just wireframes for the entire duration of 12 weeks. But this is a training program. We are giving you an overall idea of how project starts, how project ends. It sounds funny, but many a time when I start designing, especially a training like UI UX, there are students who don't even know the difference between UI UX, or they don't even know the jargons which are used in UI UX. There are confusion in between. Students are unaware what is UX and what is UI. Yeah, Chandan is
Yeah.
here with us.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry.
Back.
I don't know where I got dropped off. My internet is working fine, but I
No
hope
problem.
yeah. Anyway, so I'll just I don't know at what point did I drop, guys? Which slide I was on?
You you were showing the links
You are on
and
this slide.
The social
and
links or the Google form?
Yeah,
yeah,
the
Google
Google
Form.
form.
Google Form.
Ah, oh God. It's very, very funny thing. I just went on talking and talking, and then realized, oh, the light of my video camera is off. Something is wrong. Then I realized, all right, I'm so sorry, guys. But anyways, I'll just go ahead and repeat. So yeah, I don't know where exactly I dropped it, but yeah, Coditas team will be sharing the URLs of the Google form. Feel free to access the Google form, submit your response if you want to apply. If you know somebody else who would want to apply, feel free to share the URL with that person. You can also use the email ID that is mentioned there. You can directly shoot an email to the ID that is there, and our recruitment team is going to reach out to you. That is all that I was trying to say. The last thing that I mean, the last I was, of course, related to our social media handles. Please feel free to follow us on LinkedIn. We are very, very active there. We are very active on Instagram and Facebook as well. We keep on publishing a lot of good content, including content related to design, technology, festivals, in general culture and everything. So please go ahead and follow us. Our YouTube channel, of course, all the events that happen, we host all the events on YouTube. So if you're watching it on YouTube, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as usually vloggers
Like,
say,
share,
right?
and subscribe.
Like, share, and
Like,
subscribe.
share, and subscribe.
Oh,
And don't
I,
forget to click on that bell button to
subscribe
get
button, yeah,
notified.
the notification bell. Right.
Are
Now,
you
now I
guys
know
trying
how
to
it feels like.
take away my job or what?
Yeah. No,
You were
sure. I don't think
backstage,
anybody.
the way we were doing it.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Awesome. Yeah. So that is what I was trying to say, guys. So then I moved to the questions. I actually picked one of the questions and I answered them as well. So I'll just try to pick the question again. The question was, can somebody with an architecture background join this training? Mansi has asked this question. So Mansi, what I would like to tell you is that, again, reiterate on the fact that I also have a computer science background, but also I was looking at the statistics from my own team and their skill sets. I realized that I have people in my team who have architecture background, textile design, computer science, industrial design background, mechanical engineers, people from BSc. So the point is, it does not matter. There is no prerequisite when it comes to specific type of education to join my team, as long as you are a good designer, a good human being, somebody that we can work with easily, somebody who can solve complex problems, and of course help us grow as well and become better designers. The way we look at the entire team is that when we are trying to contribute to your growth, you are also trying to contribute to our growth. So we are not a employee employer kind of a culture. We believe in mutual learning and mutual growth. If you join our team, make sure that you have something to contribute to the team's growth, and we will also make 200% sure that we are contributing to your long-term growth as a designer, right? uh, how many people will be shortlisted this time? So last time we shortlisted, I think, around 20 people. This time as well, we try to keep the size of the batch as small as possible to make sure that each and every individual gets enough attention, which includes mentorship, the guidance from senior designers, participation to workshops, or Ashvesh and Snehal's attention to your training, right? So we make sure that the size is as small as possible, so that we can focus on sharing the knowledge in a very effective and efficient way. Um,
Chandan, I want to address this question that
sure.
any hardware or software requirement for this training program for like
Yeah.
applicants, right?
Uh-huh.
Do
Go ahead.
we do do they had like hard no
Which question is it? Who has asked this question?
Sandhya Rani.
Okay, got it. I'm not able to look
Any
for it in
hardware
the.
and software requirements from applicants?
Okay. No, there's no requirement as such, I think, right? Snail, anything that you would want to add to that?
Yeah, no need to know, just have a curiosity.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
the
just have
that is the
curiosity
prior
and
requirement.
yeah, and love towards design. That
Yeah,
simple
Yep.
thing you want. Anything else
yeah,
will be like covered in design training,
yeah,
and you will learn with the time, right?
yeah.
You are
Perfect.
available for 8 hours per day.
Yeah.
राइट बहुत कुछ
Snail,
सीखना
do
है
you want to
अभी.
do you also want to probably call out the tools that we use during the training?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I can.
Yep.
Generally, we use Figma or InVision or
Mhm.
Figma because of like if there is any UI requirement. So at least you get hands-on training on these tools so that if you learn one tool, then you can definitely work on Adobe XD or other tools
Yeah,
as
that
well.
tool. Mhm.
So Figma and InVision to like how you will get communicate with clients. So
Mhm.
since we are using InVision in our company as well, so
Yes.
having
For
InVision is
prototyping.
definitely, yeah, for prototyping. Yes, InVision is definitely a very versatile tool, guys.
Yeah.
So if I'm not wrong, lot of big teams
clients.
use it. Yeah, for client collaboration, for prototyping, of course. I think they have provisions for running static usability tests as well. If I'm not wrong, at least I've seen somewhere. I think they have plugins and stuff. So again, pretty versatile tool. You can use it for different purpose. I think Figma also allows prototyping, right, Snail?
Yes, it
Yeah.
also allowed, but uh, we have it we have it in our training program because Figma अभी बहुत सारे clients just न्यू
Yeah,
हो
yeah,
रहे
yeah,
हैं.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
getting
yeah. It's
used to
still
it.
new.
हाँ, तो एक
Yeah,
tool
they're still
आना
getting
चाहिए
used to it.
communicate करने के लिए, but मे भी
Correct,
टाइम
correct.
के साथ सब कुछ चेंज हो जाए.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
Adobe
Is it
XD,
necessary?
Figma, and InVision are the common tools which we use.
Yes, and yes, how can we forget about Google?
Yeah,
Google Drive.
Yeah.
Google Suite,
Yeah,
all the
Google.
tools that are being offered by
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
Definitely, yes. That's there. So we over the period of time will try to also expose people to how product teams use tools like Jira or Confluence to document design decisions or create design systems or or plan projects. So all those exposures are absolutely possible, and that's the beauty of the training, right? It is being offered by a team which is already very mature, and it's easier for us to expose you to those tools and you know help you become prepared, get prepared before the actual show happens, right?
Exactly.
That's definitely there. um, what other questions are here? Will this
Uh,
training cover any framework technologies? If you're talking about front end development framework, guys, so just to make sure, sorry, I think the question is asked by Yash. So Yash, there is no coding involved. The training has no coding at all, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It is pure design training. If you are aware of a few frameworks already, for example, you know how material design functions or general technology terms, it's going to be useful for you for sure, but there is no hard requirement as such there. Oh, all right. So Anjana has asked a very interesting question. I'm not a good artist yet. I'm not good in illustrations yet, but I'm learning. Will that be a problem? Definitely not, right? So, guys, when we talk about UX design, like, I think I mentioned that at the start of the conversation. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of skills. Illustrations, drawings, typography. All these are aspects of the
graphic
of your
design.
of graphic design. You can use those fundamentals to design interfaces, but these are the things that you can learn over a period of time. So no, not in my personal opinion, not a big barrier as such.
But we can
um,
optimize your learning procedure.
yeah, definitely, yes, definitely,
We
yes.
can help you do it better.
Yeah. In fact, we have a lot of people in the team who are very good with the illustrations and iconography. I have learned illustrations, iconography from my team, including tools. So definitely possible, but again, not a compulsory thing in my opinion, right? um, Now I found the question on hardware equipment. Okay, all right. uh, do the course cover all aspects of UX design or special areas like UX research? So we again, UX design, extremely, what do you call it, deep field, uh, has a lot of things in it. uh, there are aspects that we will be covering, but there may be a few aspects that we may not be able to cover, because literally, like, people spend years to get certification and degree related to design, right? So the program is just 3 months. So we do not promise you to know you'll become like a, what do you call it, expert
Subject
designer
matter
in,
expert.
yeah, so subject matter expert in a matter of 3 months. It's going to take a lot of practice to become a subject matter expert. More than education, you need practice, right? So that will keep on that will keep on happening.
Yeah, and design itself a large domain that we see everywhere. जहाँ
Yeah,
पर भी देखो वहाँ डिजाइन है. So you can't expect कि 3 months या 1 year या 10 years के कोई भी प्रोग्राम में तुम पूरा entire डिजाइन सीख जाओगे.
right, yeah.
It,
You cannot really expect that.
yeah,
Yeah,
and design is something which like can change with the time.
yeah, right. And there are a few questions on the qualification criteria, and if
Mhm.
whether or not specific type of people can enroll. So just I think I answered that in one of the questions above, but in case if you missed it, the program is not for working professionals. The program requires your full attention for 3 full months. It is actually like a full-time job, guys. And I think that would be the simplest way I can define it. It will actually be a full-time job for you. The only difference is here you'll be part of the training. You'll not be part of the delivery, but it will require you to be present, or at least be engaged for the entire 3 months. Um, how many of this 20 people has a possibility of getting a job offer at Coditas? Possibility, all 20 of them. But from practical for practical reasons, we have a upper quota that we have to stick to. But again, there's no minimum number or maximum number as such. If everyone performs well, and as a team we can afford having everyone on the team, we will go ahead and hire all 20 of them. In fact, personally, that's the best case scenario for me especially. But unfortunately, there are, of course, practical constraints. So we usually select a very handful of people from the batch, and uh, uh, but that should not, what do you call it, interfere in your will to enroll in the program, because as I've said multiple times, the program is not the primary goal of the program is not to give you the job, right? As honestly as possible. The primary goal is not for us to give you the job, or it should not be the primary goal for you as well to get the job. The primary goal is to train you for a realistic environment, and expose you to how design teams work in a scenario where we are dealing with very large complex problems, also in scenarios where we have mid-scale complexity kind of a problem. So even if you don't join us, that is still a win for you. It's not a loss at all. Probably it's a loss for us if you're not able to have you on board, but it's not going to be a loss for you at all. You get the certification, you get the experience, you get access to all of us, and we believe in community driven learning. So even if, say, you qualify for the training, you go through the training, get the certification, you're working somewhere else, if you're stuck with something, you need any kind of a guidance, you have access to all of us. You can reach out to us through email, through LinkedIn. Multiple channels are possible in this day and age. You can literally reach out to Bill Gates if you want to, right? So that's not going to be a problem. Not saying that you start spamming him. I'm sure that he's spammed already. That's there. And is UX design about art, like 2D or 3D? There's no coding involved. You said you can wear which kind of product we use they use in these designs. So I don't know if that's a real name. That's a funny name. Zoplo.
Yeah.
I think it's just a YouTube handle. Or probably I'm getting the pronunciation wrong. I'm sorry, but yeah, it is design is not like art. I would say it's a combination of art and science. There are certain aspects which require you to be extremely objective and data oriented, and then there are also certain aspects where you have to focus on some of the artistic nature of implementation. At the end of the day, there are always patterns. There are things like grid systems, visual hierarchy. There are different laws like Fitts law or Gestalt's principle. There are things that you can always learn from, stick to, and utilize and improvise. But there's no fixed definition which I think I can put there. Yes, no coding involved. Which kind of product we use? I'm not sure what the question is, but I think what you're trying to ask is what kind of tools that we use. I think Snehal has already answered that. To build the interface, we will use Figma Design. It's an interface design tool. It's not a coding tool. For prototyping, we can use Figma, or we try to rely on InVision app more, because that's how majority of the collaboration happens in the real world. Uh, and yeah, that's that. I think that's pretty much two large tools that we use. Of course, Google Suite. Uh, what will be the duration of the training program? Again, 3 weeks, 12, 3 months, 12 weeks. If one has already done a UX training before, can they apply to full-time position at Coditas? Definitely you can. Definitely you can. That's not a problem at all. Uh, we keep on collaborating with a lot of design schools and also universities. So if you already have your UX certification or training that you have done, feel free to apply. If you don't have an experience, you'll be qualified for the associate designer's role. And again, that's the entry level role that we usually offer. And but again, that will purely depend on how you perform during the interviews. Then you'll have to go through the usual hiring process. If we get shortlisted, will we be working in teams or individually? In teams, Shanik. You will be working in team, and that is intentionally done. We want to make sure that you get a taste of how it is like to work in a team, the conflicts that you have to face, or the issues challenges that you run into. So that's there.
How actual
And
decisions are taken.
yeah, any other questions, Snehal and Ashvesh, that you would want to pick? I think we are slightly above the time that.
There is one more question. Can a
Yeah.
graphic designer with UX certificate can apply?
Yes. Absolutely fine. Yes. As I said, I think it's the same question that was asked by the other person,
Yeah.
Shanik, I think. They're definitely fine. No problem at all. You can have whatever background, whatever certification that you have, as long as you're able to make it through the interview rounds, which are, in my opinion, not so easy to crack, right? So we will literally interview hundreds and hundreds of people, and probably out of 100 people that we would be interviewing, we would probably be hiring, I don't know, probably five in a best case scenario. So yeah, the interview process itself is a learning opportunity, in my opinion. So uh, even if you have a graphics design background, if you have the right mindset, and if you can
Definitely.
participate in a design team, definitely you can apply. Yes.
Yeah.
There
And
there are there are sorry, Snail, go ahead.
I want to add here, like, think this is as an opportunity, because
Yeah.
like sometimes because of certain situation we are not able to get trained or learn few things, even though we try from self learning, but
Yeah.
internet is so vast we get distracted for few things, like जैसे कि अभी कुछ लोग पूछ रहे थे कि यूएक्स डिजाइनिंग इस ग्राफिक डिजाइनिंग है क्या, इसमें 3D होता है क्या, 2D
Right.
आर्टिस्ट होते हैं
Hmm.
क्या. So using this at least training program, you will get to know about the basic fundamentals of UX design, and baki you will figure out with the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So think like this is as an opportunity, and
Yeah.
once you at least know some basics or get into this field, you will figure out your way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, as in one more thing, that just to expand on what Snail said, um, the if you want to get into UX design, you can utilize all sorts of knowledge and all sorts of skills. So if you have been a developer and you know how APIs function, what is a server, what is a browser, all those aspects when it comes to software, you're going to find it very easy to communicate with developers in general. So that becomes a plus point for you. If you have a
Yeah.
graphics design, you would know fundamentals related to color theory, user typography. Then interaction design is going to become easier for you. If you have an architecture background, for example, you would still know a few fundamentals which you can apply here from process through using research or using layouts, all those things. Again, I'm not very familiar with the architecture in general, but the point is you can belong to whatever industry that you belong to. You can still become a UX designer, but the hard work is immense. So do not treat it as one of those shortcut to success kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Trust me, design seems very easy on the onset. You can look at an application and feel like, "Arey, this is something that even I can design," right?
Yeah.
But when you actually get into the weeds of it, you start realizing how mentally taxing the entire process is, especially the criticism, right? It's very you the amount of criticism you face in any kind of a creative field, be it UX design or be it be it architecture or forget it. Even if you design T-shirts, the criticism is immense. You cannot avoid it. Iterations are countless. You cannot avoid iterations. You have to spend months of efforts to do something and then throw it in the trash the other day and probably start from scratch sometimes, right? So all those things are absolutely natural when it comes to design, and that is where I see a lot of designers struggle as well, right?
If someone has
Well,
created a design that looks so easy, maybe there is a lot of effort to it, and we will show you
yeah,
how much effort it was there.
yeah, yeah. But I think let's not scare them right away. Like,
That's the truth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So of course, again, guys, go ahead and enroll. If it is difficult, scary, or good, you'll find out. It is going to be an
Yeah,
interesting journey for you,
but it's gonna
right?
be fun. You will be
It's
learning a
definitely
lot.
going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But this
One
is
of
the
the
field where
Yeah,
everyone can learn a lot about everything, because
yeah, a lot about everything.
design
Yes,
is where sometimes, let's say, I'm working for a banking product, but
yeah.
next day I'm next for next
Working on
project
a
maybe I'm
healthcare.
working on healthcare. So
Yeah,
you get a benefit, like you get knowledge about different field as well. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
And I
everyone
think I
coming
think
on board brings their
uh,
own experience with them. So all 20
definitely.
members brings their own experience, and it's a learning process for us as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
It's a
and
huge
and in
growth.
general, something that I've noticed is, especially the beauty of working in an agency is you get exposure to so many different
So
things,
many
right? As
things.
I think Snail, you brought a very good point here. Uh, 3 months or 6 months, I may be working on a product related to fintech. Immediately after that, I may get an opportunity to work on a healthcare product. And through this, especially when you are early in your career as a designer, you get exposure to multiple business
Multiple
problems,
domains.
multiple domains, and you start realizing what you really enjoy doing, right? At the end of the
Exactly.
day, the skill requirements are going to be identical. You grow as a professional, especially
Yeah.
working in
Even
this kind of
these
environment.
things help us as a human being as well.
Yeah,
We get
definitely.
to learn about so many things which
Yeah,
we will
your
not even
mind
learn in a
expands.
general life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and
That's a
like
beauty.
yes, we go ahead, Snehal.
Yeah. No, no, no. You continue.
Okay, sorry, thank you. So then your brain expands. The opportunities are just immense, right? You can go in whatever direction that you want to as a professional. One of there are a couple of other important questions that I would want to take up before we close. We are already above the time that we had decided.
Yeah.
Will I have to pay for this training and certification? No, you don't have to pay us. We pay you. We train you and we give you a certification as well. So there's no monetary investment from your side at all, literally 0 rupees. In fact, license acquisition also is not going to require even a single rupee from you. Design tools nowadays, they provide enough features for free for you to learn. All you have to put in is your time, effort, focus, and then you can
Right
you can you can
mindset
get a
towards learning.
right
Yeah.
right mindset, have the right energy as well. That's there. Post training placement assistant, we do not provide a specific assistance as such. If you want to get placed somewhere else, but what we do provide is the guidance and access to resources that you can utilize to prepare, right? So we will help you understand how design interviews work, what kind of resources you have to have in place, what are the general questions that are asked, um, and nothing apart from that. As in, we do not connect you with different companies or agencies. You can definitely use the certificate that we provide to apply, but no infrastructure exists from our end to help you acquire a job somewhere else apart from the guidance and help that all that we can provide. There are no weekend classes. Another question there. Student participation we have already answered. One more question that's very critical is live projects. We do not expose you to any live project because the complexity of exposing people to live projects is beyond what we can imagine. It requires official onboarding, background verification. So it's pretty complex. So, but we have an exact replica of live projects that we use, as in not the same problem statement, but the process that is followed on live projects. So we use the same process even on the training assignments, right? So the live projects are usually confidential. We don't disclose information to team which is not part of those projects, but we try to follow the same process and apply it on a different problem statement. But at the same time, you have exposure to designers on the in the and from all those projects and client teams. You can ask them all sorts of questions from the process, complexity, deliverables, whatever question that you may have, and they will be there to help you for this entire 3 months, right? Um, Prerequisites we have discussed, entrance qualification we have discussed, tools we have discussed. Can the session be recorded? So we are not recording the sessions at this point in time. There are a few workshops that we keep on conducting, which is part of the training, which we record for our own documentation purpose. So no information as such is made public, at least at this point in time. We may make those information public in the future, but again, we haven't decided on that yet. With that, I think we should close the discussion, guys. Anything else that Ashvesh or Snehal you would want to add before we close?
Yeah, I wanted to just say whenever we are talking about certification, that's a plus point from us. But the project we are doing, even that enhances your portfolio value. So even consider that if you're onboarded to Coditas or you're applying somewhere else, that project which you are doing with us and with a team member, that will enhance your designer's point of view. And it will be definitely better than something else which you earlier had on your portfolio.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. I think we are good. So, Shivani, please go ahead.
Yep. Thank you so much for this interesting session. I hope we could answer most of the questions from the audience. If not, you can get in touch with us. You have our email IDs. We are there or active on all the social channels. And for more updates about the program, you will always get updated through our social media handles. And for the webinars, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you'll get notified about it. And I have also shared a feedback link in the comment section. Please help us know how this session was for you so that we improve our further webinars. Until next time, thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Thanks, team.